and I absolutely love what I do. How many of you love what you do? Awesome. So what I'm going to do very quickly, because I know I stand between you and the bar, I'm going to walk you through my latest book number 11 that I've written, and I'm going to sum it up with this entire statement. And this is going to be the big takeaway from everything that I'm going to share in the next few moments. When you look at this statement and it says resilience is taught, brilliance is caught, here's why this is important to you as area leaders. Every single day, how you show up, people are taking a cue, agents are taking a cue from you on how to be, what to do. Do y'all mind if I come off the stage? Yeah, I'm come off the stage because I've got this dark jacket on with this dark curtain and I'll have to smile for you to see me, okay? It was right there. It was right there. I know, I totally went there, all right. Y'all have to excuse me, I don't get out much. So we asked working Americans, we did some proprietary research, wanted to understand what does resilience look like? And all of you are smart. If I was in Boston, I would say wicked smart. All of you are wicked smart people. You know what resilience is. But in our research, when we asked working Americans 27 customized questions, working Americans told us that resilience is perseverance, grit, and problem solving. So problem solving is the ability that whenever you are working with a potential home buyer or an agent, helping them understand that they are the solution to a problem, in problem solving, that resilience is built. Then we asked the question of working Americans, 1,000 working Americans, 27 customized questions, 95% confidence level, 3.1% margin of error. And the reason I give you that backstory, so you don't think this is just a Facebook or Meta survey that we did and we got Pookie and them to tell us what they thought. No, it's legit. So we asked working Americans, how do they define brilliance? And they said brilliance is confidence, intelligence, and creativity. So in other words, when I am solving a problem, my confidence increases in that moment. And when I have an area leader that has helped coach me to my brilliance, not only has my confidence increased, but I've tapped into AI, actual intelligence. And when I tap into actual intelligence, I begin to understand that I can be epic in epic. But it happens because of this understanding of resilience. So there are 5 personality archetypes, area leaders, that will show up, especially as you're dealing with agents. And I looked at this in different industries. There's 5. They're called hurry. Everybody say hurry. Hurry. Worry. Worry. Ready. Steady. And curious. So hurry is, okay, I gotta go. I gotta make something happen. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hair's on fire, and sometimes doesn't pay attention to all of the details because they're always in a hurry. They have selective hearing instead of authentic listening. And what you have to coach hurry into understanding is slowing down to the speed of the moment and recognizing the same letters that spell the word listen spell the word silent. So when hurry understands, slow down to the speed of the moment. Our research says that 56% of working Americans are always in a hurry, whatever they're doing. So as area leaders, whenever you are dealing with that hurry personality type, understand how they're wired. Are they visual, auditory, hands-on? And as you engage them, just bring them back to grounding. This is the epic way. This is why we do what we do. Worry. Worry's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Worry's got a lot going on. Perhaps the deal fell through, and worry will build up a story in their head about what happened. And that story becomes more powerful than what happened. So how you come alongside worry, let me give you the research. Dr. Christian Mursky at Princeton University says when the brain is worried, the brain slows down. When the brain slows down, it doesn't create neurogenesis, which is the process of growing neurons, which grows the brain. So sometimes worry, good person, well-meaning, but they're worried about what if it didn't work out, and how you come alongside to help coach them out of that worry state is to remind them of what's right about them instead of what's wrong with them. And then there is steady. Steady's superpower is calmness. Steady's superpower is this ability to take in a lot of information and almost kind of give you the screensaver face. They hear it and they have a flat effect, but they're like, I'm studying, nothing's gonna rock my boat. I'm gonna get it done. And then there's ready. The ready personality archetype understands, make the note, the fortune is in the follow-up. So as ready understands, when I get it done, when I make it happen, I'm building that resilience. So hurry, worry, ready, and steady meet at a surfing camp in California. And at the end of each surfing lesson, they go and sit by a campfire and they begin to unpack their stories, because certainly hurry and worry want to become ready and steady. But then there's curious. Curious has a lot of questions. The more questions that curious begins to ask, the more questions they have. And that's not a bad thing, because the quality of your questions determine the quality of your thinking. So that curious person is that person who truly wants to learn. What I so appreciate and celebrate about you, Epique, is you are really tapping into the quote from Eric Hoffer that says, in times of change, the learners will inherit the earth, while the unlearned will find themselves beautifully equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. So area leaders in a company that prizes learning and growing has a killer strategy and a killer advantage. So every single day, if there's anything that you take away, the question I have for you, what are you modeling? What are you modeling in every email, in every phone conversation, every Zoom, every Teams visit, every in-person when you are there, your presence? Well, what are you modeling? Because leadership is caught and leadership is taught. Let me share with you one of my greatest failures. Is it okay to talk about failure in here? Okay, last time I looked in the dictionary, failure came before success, Brooke. So, Brooke, raise your hand. This is Brooke. I don't want y'all to think I'm talking to my imaginary friend. Okay, who's Brooke? I don't know Brooke. So, Brooke, one of my greatest failures, I get promoted into a leadership role at Disney, got my corporate American Express card, name on the door, thought I was hot stuff. The reality is I was a jerk of a boss. I was in over my skis. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I didn't want you to know that I didn't know, so I just pretended like I knew. Insert bless his little heart. And Disney was about to invite me to bounce because I was focused, Brooke, on vertical ascension instead of horizontal connection. So it was all about me instead of we. And that's not leadership, that's ego tripping, edging goodness out. And what I really had to begin to learn that if I was going to be a leader, here's my big takeaway. The job of leadership as area leaders, hear me, don't throw me out of the room. It's not just about motivating agents. The job that you have right now is to invite people on a journey to discover the best version of themselves while they're following you. So how do you begin to understand that resilience in what you're modeling every single day? Where is Allison? Where's Allison? Where's Charles? Where are they? Hey, y'all. So first of all, let me tell the story before we celebrate them. First of all, thank you for what you did when the hurricane hit North Carolina. You were there. You were giving updates on social. You were modeling the resilience that Epique is all about because that's how you roll. And I just want to celebrate you. So can we celebrate them? Woohoo! 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 Yes! Yes! Awesomeness! Charles and Allison, thank you for being amazing. You are the epic in Epique. And one of the things I asked Jill and Ernesto, I wanted examples of how you do what you do, because leadership, thank you so much. What? Y'all can see me now. I knew he was a brother. Where's the smile? So, thank you. Where's Robbie at? Where's Robbie? I know Robbie is like, what? You don't know me like that. So Robbie, I had the team share with me the feedback from the NPS survey. And one of the things that the agents said about you, Robbie, is that not only are you the epic in Epique, but you're totally present. You are always teaching and providing learning. You're connecting the dots. And when you are there from a present standpoint, people are picking up on you that this is not just Robbie who showed up to check a box, but you're there to help them become better. And your presence matters. So Robbie, we celebrate you for being the epic in Epique. Give it up for Robbie! Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh, 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 oh! Woohoo! Robbie! All right, so let me just ask y'all a question. Can I say y'all in here? Does y'all? Okay. How do y'all feel right now as we celebrate one of your colleagues? How does it feel? You know why it feels good? Because that's who we are at the core. I just made myself a part of the family. I'm just saying. Josh, I just kind of slipped my name in there. Okay, so where's LaShawn? Okay, hold up. It's deserving. So, stay standing. Y'all sit down. Robbie, LaShawn, stay standing. So, LaShawn, one of the surveys came back and said that not only are you a stellar sponsor, but in the one-on-ones that you do, in the networking events where your intentionality is about bringing people together to make sure that they connect, but it's not just in bringing people together, it's your heart, it's your spirit to ensure that everybody is seen, everybody is valued, everybody knows that in Epique that they matter, that they are not just a number in a system, but they are special. Your marketing ideas that you give to them and constantly inviting them not to just come in to Epique and hang out, but be transformed by what you do in real estate. So they take a piece from you, and when they take that piece from you, it is equivalent to you hugging people with your words. What? That's what you do. Now, these are just a few examples of the amazing individuals that you get a chance to collaborate with. And what's interesting is I wanted to make sure you had a tool that you walked away with, because what I just shared with you, all of them are caring. Would you say Allison, Charles, Robbie, LaShawn are caring? Yes? Because that is the epic difference. How many of you have worked in other places and you're like, what? But how many realize that the water and the vibe is a little different up in here, up in here? And I submit to you, it comes down to caring. So let's unpack this very quickly. You've been hearing all day, and I'm just gonna tee it up again. What would it be like for every agent to commit to coaching them? Coaching them where they are. I heard earlier, not every agent wants to hit that 30 million number. They might want to sell every quarter, and that's okay. When you meet them where they are and they know that they're cared for, they can pick up on it's not just a transaction, but it's about individuals knowing that they matter. So committing to coaching is really recognizing where people are and meeting them in their journey. When you look at attitude is key. I stand here today, Brooke, because a teacher saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. When I was growing up in Buffalo, New York, go Bills, this is our year. And I started at McKinley High School in Buffalo, New York, a trade school where you had to take sheet metal, air conditioning, refrigeration, and Brooke and Jade, right? Is it Jade? Jasmine. I failed all the classes. And Jasmine, I went out for the football team and I got cut. I went out for the basketball team. They said, you are not the next Magic Johnson. And I went out for track and field. They said, you are too slow. Try cross country. So how many realize my freshman year in high school was a total disaster, okay? Failed all the classes, sports was not my thing. And over the summer between my freshman year and sophomore year in high school, I attempted to commit suicide. Because sometimes when you don't have self-worth and self-esteem, and I grew up in Buffalo, New York, the third poorest city in America, where there wasn't a lot of options for me at that time. And my parents decided they need to do an intervention. So they transferred me to another high school. And it was in that high school at 15 years of age where Jasmine, Miss Rita Linkus, my English teacher, said, young man, I want you to write a speech and give it before the entire school. And 40 years later, I'm walking out what a teacher saw in me that I didn't see in myself. Let me give you the research. In one of the books that I've written called Releasing Leadership Brilliance, Dr. Russ Quaglia has studied 66,000 students in the United States public school system. And what they discovered in their research is whenever a student had a teacher that believed in them, and that teacher knew that they believed in them, and the student felt that the teacher believed in them, they performed 8 times better. So when I talk about attitude is key, make the note. Everything speaks when you're not speaking. So as an area leader, what are people picking up on when they step into your quantum field? Are you helping them discover their inner Neo in the matrix of real estate? And are you challenging them with just your attitude to see, I got you. Brooke, I believe in you. I see you, boo. You gonna make it. And you don't have to say boo, that's just me, you know. Everybody say this to me. Realize, I create a lasting impact. I'm here today because countless individuals from around the world gave me a hand up not a handout. And when they had a real conversation with me, it was a conversation to grow. And in that conversation, because what did I hear? Constructive criticism? I want to flip that, and I want you to think about it. How do we give feed forward? How do we help people move forward in the feedback and the conversation that we have with them? Because language is the software of the mind. Words carry energy. And how do we think about our words? They are shaping the head, the heart, and the hands of everybody that we connect with. So how do we truly impact them? I want you to change out the word employee for team member or agent, that experience that you create for them. Now, I'm gonna ask a question because this is a naive question. I don't know the answer. But for those of you as area leaders, certainly as brokers, do you know the birthdays, the anniversary date of when people started? Birthdays, anniversaries? Yes? Some? Awesome. How many of you know the name of the pet? The niece, the nephew? Some of you know the names of the pet. How many of you know the name of the spouse, bird on a wire, person of interest, a boo, whatever? How many of y'all know that, right? And the reason I'm just asking those questions, as funny as it may seem, is because so many times people have been in other places where they didn't feel known, and they did just enough to get what they needed, and then they bounced because they did not feel that that place cared about them. Now, you're probably saying, Simon, why is that important? Here's the research. According to Gallup, right now, they've surveyed 190 countries, and what they're saying, roughly 7 out of 10 people are dealing with stress, anxiety, borderline depression. In other words, net, everybody is dealing with something. So when we invite them into the epic experience, how do we step back and just take a moment? How are you? How's it going? How can I best serve you? What we're doing is you are showing how to be a human being. Whose phone is that? Let me talk to them. Whose phone? Is that your phone? Let me say hi to them. Calling here in my meeting. I'm teasing. No, I'm not. Okay, so. Jasmine, how do we take a moment to ensure everybody knows that in Epic, you're a human being, not a human doing? And it's that difference that makes you special. Notice and ask questions, y'all get this, and then genuinely appreciate everyone. Please remember this from today forward. 1 minute of recognition creates 100 minutes of initiative. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Taking that time to say, I see you, I celebrate you, I appreciate you, and here's why, okay? So, where is Natalie? Natalie! So Natalie, when I was looking at the NPS survey, what? You are loved. Agents love your leadership style. They like your professionalism. They say you are always available to answer their question. And when they call you, you never rush them off. You are like, how can I help you? And they so appreciate you taking the time to care about them as they are finding their way. What? Because that's how you roll. Give it up for Natalie. Natalie, how does it feel receiving this positive feedback?
It feels excellent.
And you deserve it.
And I care about every one of them.
And they know. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the recommendation economy, the referral and review economy. And when people don't feel the love and they don't feel cared for, they're bouncing. But when they know that they're cared for, so let me just unpack this. So in the deeper research of resilience, one of the things they teach is this thing called a life-giving conversation. When an individual has a life-giving conversation, the scientists say that the connective tissue within that individual, in that life-giving conversation, not only connects, but causes them to spiral up. The opposite of life-giving is life-draining. How many of you have ever been around some people who are more negative than an undeveloped piece of film, right? And they literally suck the life out of you, right? And so in a life-draining conversation, it causes an individual to spiral down. So one of the things I really want us to think about as area leaders, how do we ensure that every conversation, even the tough conversations, create that connection that allows people to say, you know what? Brooke and I, we talked, and I know that she comes from a healthy place because she wants me to be better. And that's okay. All right? So is Sandy Lynn here? Sandy Lynn? Okay, so who knows Sandy? All right, take a picture and video what I'm about to say about Sandy. So who's gonna take the video? Mary, you gonna take the video? So Sandy, first of all, you are amazing. When I looked at the survey, the feedback was you're always present, you're always available, especially for those agents in Iowa and Illinois. You have this way that whenever they call you, you help them find the answer that they need, and you will not get off that call until you give them what they have been looking for. You are absolutely amazing. We wish you were here, but we are going to celebrate you. Can we give it up for Sandy? Woo-hoo! Sandy, Sandy. I'm just giving you examples of caring. This is what it looks like. This is how it shows up. This is the epic difference. So, if there's one thing I want to invite you to take action on, I want you to think of all your agents, and before you return home, I have a challenge for you. And I'm a little old school. Can you write them a handwritten note? Send them a video, a text saying, hey, not only do we appreciate you being a part of Epique, but I just want you to know there's something special about you, Bobby Hall. Is it Bobby Hall? Did I get it right? Bobby Hall, right? There's something special about you, and I just want to call that out. What that does for a person is to say, you know what? This is a different kind of place. I feel special. Now, I'm going to walk you through a few more stories. Where's Laura? Where's Laura? Is she here? Laura? I know you're like, what? Is it me? Okay, Laura, can you stand up? Can you stand up real quick? Okay. How are you? I know you're like, where is this going? Laura, I promise you, it's all good. It's all good. So, some of the amazing feedback about you is that whenever an agent talks to you, you always put something in their toolkit to help them be better. Your presence, how you show up, how you articulate and answer questions in response to whatever they're looking for, your patience, your kindness, your consistency. What? That's what makes you awesome. Give it up for Laura. Laura, Laura, Laura. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna teach you a little insight that I learned at the Mouse House that I want y'all to grab, okay? Because I think this might take Epique into another stratosphere. All right, now let me give you the backstory so you kind of understand this. So whenever Disney Imagineering is thinking about building something, Plussing is at the very top of the pyramid. Now, you're probably saying, Simon, what is Imagineering? It's a combination of imagination and engineering. So how Disney thinks about everything, it starts with this whole concept of Imagineering. And plussing is at the very top. You're probably saying, okay, Simon, what is plussing? Very simple. A little something extra for nothing. It's that little something extra that's like, what? Now, you're probably saying, okay, Simon, what's the business case? Because this sounds very pixie dusted right now, okay? Here's the business case. Disney thinks about it. How do they drive more attendance? How do they increase price? And how do they build loyalty? I submit to you from today forward, Epique, you are a brand. Everybody say brand. An emotion. Connection. Perception, moment, memory, that's Epique. You are an emotion, a connection, a perception, a moment, and a memory, and plussing is that little something extra that everyone says, what? Amazing. All right, so let me give you some examples. How many of you remember the movie Lion King? Okay, when Lion King came out in the 90s, at the very beginning of the movie, Rafiki holds up Simba and Simba sneezes. Now, here's the deal. 99% of the movie-going audience didn't see the sneeze, all right? And here's why. Remember, when Lion King came out, it was pre-Pixar. So that meant it took 100 animators to draw in the sneeze. Michael Eisner, then CEO of Disney, was asked the question, what's the deal with the sneeze? What's the big deal with the sneeze? And Michael Eisner said, we did it for the 1%. The 1% that saw we gave a little something extra for nothing. It's the sneeze. It's the point of differentiation. So, give you another example. Where's Maria? Where's Maria? Maria! Maria! Okay, so Maria, you are my example of plussing, all right? And you're probably saying, why? Okay, so I was reading the surveys that they sent to me, and one of the surveys said that whenever a person closes a deal, within hours, you are calling them to celebrate them, and you just don't stop. You're always finding ways to do a little something extra that's above and beyond. What? That is the epic difference. Give it up. All right, so everybody say this to me. Say, Simon says, plus it up. All right, let me give you another example. So my wife and I, we have 4 children, 3 daughters, 1 son, from 22 to 29. And our daughter, Ashley, has never been married. She's booed up. I don't know if he gonna make the cut. But anyway, her child, because she doesn't have any children, was her dog, Prince Michael. Prince Michael unfortunately passed away. And the vet came to our home, and if we can take that off the screen there, the vet wrote this note, this handwritten note, and sent it to Ashley. And here's what the note says for those of you in the back. Dear Ashley Russo family, your sweet Prince Michael was such a handsome boy. It was my honor to meet him and to be a part of his peaceful goodbye. He was blessed to have you to give him such a wonderful care and love over the years. I know it will take time for your heart to heal, but I hope the lovely memories bring you peace and comfort. Lovingly, Mimi, Dr. Santos Torres from Lap of Love Veterinary Hospice. It's a little note. Why do I share that with y'all? Because as we think about our agents, and everybody's dealing with something, when the chips are down, how do we as Epique come alongside them and say, I got you. I'm here with you. What do you need? How do I support you? Because that's the epic difference. It's just what Ashley and Charles did. How do we show up? Not because we have to, but because we want to. So this is a video. You don't have to play it. I'll tell you the quick story. I've been flying on Delta Airlines for 33 years. And you know when you get off the plane and it's that little door that you go down the stairs? So there was a person, Brooke, standing there at the door with my name on it. And the first thing I heard in my head, bad boys, what you gonna do when we come for you? I was like, you do not show a brother getting off a plane a sign saying, come down the stairs with me. Because I don't know where this is going, okay? But there's a Delta agent, and they said, we've been tracking your flight, and you may not make your connection, so we've got a Porsche for you down here. I was like, what? So I get in the Porsche, they drive me over to my gate, and I walk up the stairs, and I get on the plane, and I say thank you so much to the agent. That was the video. But Delta plussed it up. Little something extra for nothing. Where is Nikisha? Naisha. Naisha, I tell you, I done practiced your name. I said, I am not going to mess the sister's name up. Naisha, can you stand, please? All right. Naisha. Okay. So here's what the survey said about your awesomeness. You have this presence. First of all, your smile is killer. Because when you smile, I want everybody to smile. Everybody smile like she's smiling, all right? Her smile invites us to increase our face value. Some of y'all gonna get that. I know we moving quick, all right? But it's your smile that comes across on social media because you are always present, shouting out the amazing things that agents are doing, and they can feel your authenticity, that they are seen and that they are valued and that they matter because you took the time in social media to say, check this person out. Look at what they're doing. And so what separates you from everyone else is using your platform to take a moment to just care. That is a great example of plussing it up. What? Give it up for her. Awesome. Everybody say, plus it up. Okay, so I was staying at the Langham Hotel in Chicago a few years ago. And your name? Lisa. Lisa, raise your hand. This is Lisa, y'all. So Lisa, I go down to the front desk because I want to go work out. It's a Saturday morning. I'm working on my six-pack. Boom! And the fitness center was closed. So they said, wait here at the front desk, Lisa. And the security guard comes and says, I'm going to go and open up the fitness center with you. I'm like, yes. So he walks me through back of the house, Lisa. And right before we come out to the public area, I see this sign on the back of the door. And I said, what's this? He said, here at the Langham Hotel, Chicago, if we're gonna be number one, we have to chase consistency. Now he is bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I'm like, dude, calm the heck down. It is 6 a.m., it is not that deep. But he's like, whoa! So I go and work out, and I get back to my room, Lisa, and I go on Expedia.com because I wanna see what's the word on the street about the Langham Hotel. OMG. Out of 200 hotels in the Chicago market, Langham Hotel is ranked number 1 or number 2. And when I start scrolling through the comments, they said, we love it here. They know our name. They make us feel special. And here's what they do. It says, recognize guests by name, make eye contact and smile, escort guests when possible, no special occasion, put notes in the individual appointment, practice compassion. What? Practice compassion. Anticipate their needs, introduce ourselves, be fluent in their journey, know the protocols for services, knowledge of treatments, efficiency in others, jobs, and duties. In other words, their plussing up is they do the little things right every single day. And it's those little things that allow them to be the best of the best. Everybody say, plus it up. Where's Renee? Renee? Renee, where are you? Hey, Renee trying to hide out. Renee, can you stand? Come on, Renee. You gonna work with us. Come on, stand. Renee, Renee, Renee. So here's what is so amazing about how you model resilience and brilliance. People say, first of all, you are serious about your job. Don't waste my time. I just threw that in there. It didn't say it, I just threw that in there. They love your presence. They love your commitment to excellence. They love the responses that you give them and your ability to teach and make it simple so that they get it and they don't have to feel like, oh, this is a question. No, they bring it to you and you bring them together because you want them to not just survive, but thrive. And people can feel that. So Renee, you are plussing it up. Give it up for her. Yeah. Yeah. Renee, how does that feel? How does it feel to get that feedback? You love it. Isn't it interesting? How many realize love is not a word that's used in a lot of circles, but we use it here at Epique because Epique is love. Yes? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So where's Angela? Where's Angela? Angela! Angela! Angela, the queen of compliance. Look, you gonna sell real estate here, you better comply. Angela, I love reading the surveys about you. You have a can-do attitude. How do we figure it out? In a world of no's, you find the yes within compliance to do it right. But what really separates you is you have deep, deep, deep knowledge. You are a deep well, and people love drawing from your well of knowledge because you have a way to break it down so that they understand it. So as a brilliant teacher who absolutely loves what you do, people enjoy you for you. So can we give it up for Angela? Blessing it up. I just wanted to share with you just a few examples. I probably could pick on another 10 people. But if there's anything I want you to take away, Epique, how can we be resilient? Because resilience is taught, brilliance is caught. What are people catching from you? How do we care about people where they really know that we're not phoning it in? We're going to find a way to hug them with our words, even when we have the tough conversations. But they're going to know that they're loved because the presence is here. It's different here. This is not just a business, a technology company that may go public. It is a company that is concerned about humanity and just doing it different. Do you realize that case studies will be written in business schools in decades to come about a company called Epique who dared to do it differently? Would y'all agree? All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all with this story. I was talking with a real estate agent and I said, tell me a story of what you've learned in your journey. And she shared with me that she was working with a client who she had taken to see a house. And when the client had saw the house, noticed that there was this figurine of, I don't know what you would call it, quail or pelican. And what'd you say, the state bird? It's a state bird. It's a state bird. Okay, y'all have totally educated me. I have only lived here 32 years. I think I was asleep in the class. So she shared with me, she takes this gentleman on a tour of the house, and he sees the pelican as a statue, and he says to her, hey, I want to get this house. And so she said, okay, get the paperwork going, and it comes time to close, and he says, can I just take a walk through the house just one more time? And he walks through the house again, and he tells her, I can't get the house. And she's like, oh, what do you mean can't get the house? She said, because he said the pelican isn't there. And what do you mean, the pelican, that pelican statue? And she said, you know what? How about we go for a cup of coffee? So they went for a cup of coffee. This is in Charleston, South Carolina. And they're at the coffee shop. And she says to him, tell me, what's the story with the pelican? He said, when I walked into the house and I saw the statue of a pelican, it was like a sign from my grandmother who had left me inheritance money to get my first house. It was like a wink that this was the house for me. He said, obviously my grandmother is no longer here. And she said, I want you to wait right here, because down the street from the coffee shop was an antique store, and she went in and bought a pelican statue, came back to the coffee shop, put it on the table, and said, now can we close the deal? And he said yes, because she understood when you plus it up, sometimes you have to listen at a deep level. Epique, I love you. I believe in you. There's not a darn thing you can do about it. Thank you very much.